We're back. The Fintastic 4 -1 because Nick is late. He's always fashionably late. I'm Tony Castanera. We got Jose. We got Jeff. We are three depressed guys. Well, not that depressed, but damn, Dolphins lost again. And okay, Jeff's got some really late breaking news that he promised the dog that'll just break the internet. So let's hear it now, Jeff.
I don't know if it's breaking news. It's kind of a couple weeks old.
You said this is
But
going to be the biggest story in the NFL for the past decade. Let's go. Come on.
well, it may. I don't know if it's going to be the biggest story, but it may change our perspective a little bit of the Dolphin season thus far. It goes back a week or so, back to the Patriots game when we were at the tailgate before the game.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into my unnamed source, who will remain anonymous, and so I'll just tell you what happened. I ran into my anonymous source,
Who remain unnamed,
who works with the team.
right?
Works, I mean, with the team. He's right there
Mm-hmm.
with the team all the time.
All right.
And I run into them, and they say, "Stay back." And I'm like, "What do you mean? Stay back? Just don't want you to get sick." And I said, Are you sick?" "Yes, very sick. Uh, Flu-like symptoms, 102-degree temperature,
Why is he even
cold,
there? Yeah.
cold,
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, "Well, should you be with the team? Shouldn't you be separated from the team?" And they said, "That's who gave it to me." Then they said that almost every player on the team had the flu or severe cold symptoms, and that they had
Against the
had it for
Patriots.
they had had it, yeah, just and it had had it for over a week.
Hmm.
So I realized then that we were probably in trouble for that game against the Patriots, and then I thought back to the first game, and I thought, well, the reason why the team had no energy, lack of energy, they were being pushed all over the field. I said, if you're running 102-degree temperature,
It
there's
shouldn't
chances
even be
are
on the field.
you're not going to perform up to the highest level. And to their credit, they didn't use that as an excuse. In fact, I haven't heard anywhere else that the majority of the team, they actually said that almost every starter was sick. So I look back at it and I think, the first 2 weeks of the season were lost to sickness. And then, of course, the third game came against Buffalo in Buffalo, and then all of a sudden the team has energy. They almost beat Buffalo. Came right down to the last couple minutes of the game, and almost beat them. And I thought, well, I'm just going to call the first two games from sickness.
Well,
And that kind of changes my perspective a little bit of maybe we're not as bad as we thought we were.
first off, I want to welcome Nick
Welcome
on
in,
Yes.
Nick.
time. We were waiting.
We
We
were
tried to
waiting.
He
wait for
missed
you,
he missed the breaking
and
news.
you missed the breaking news. Apparently, there's a thing where if you have a fan that's named Nick, you're not allowed to win a game, especially with
That could be a
with
thing.
special teams.
So he's
We'll
supposed
see.
to become a Jets fan this next Monday.
Well, Jeff's breaking news is he's got inside information saying that the Dolphins were sick the first 2 weeks of the season. They all had the flu.
They just suck.
Well, they do when they're sick, that's for sure.
Listen, I have to say that, and if we can get going on the offense, I have to say that the offense was much improved, right? They were like they had 130 yards rushing. right? So that was a huge improvement, especially against the Buffalo Bills. That's not easy. They were averaging 5.2 yards per carry, right? And then Ollie Gordon had a great game,
Yeah.
right? So all those things happened, and the third down conversions were like 10 out of 15. So, if it wouldn't have been for the interception,
They
you
do
know,
all that and still break your heart in the end.
crush it. And every time they went into the red zone, they scored. Right.
Yeah.
So I
And the
mean,
roughing the kicker penalty didn't help either.
no, it didn't.
No, it
It's
didn't.
Stupid.
Well, first off, before we go into the game, I want to go back to Jeff's thing.
All right.
If your source is correct and everybody's correct and what you're saying is true, I know you can only just say what they told you.
Right.
Why didn't it? I mean, we hear all the time about players not playing because they're sick, they have cold,
Yeah.
or why would the Dolphins keep that under wraps? I mean, if anything, actually, that is against the rules because if a person's injured or something, you still have to put it or sick. You have to put it out there, especially in infectious
Well,
disease. You got the flu, you have to put it down.
Yeah, if you're being treated for an injury,
Mm-hmm.
you have to disclose it.
I don't know why it wasn't out there. I haven't heard anything about it. I almost didn't say anything about it because I want to protect my source.
Yeah.
I want them to be protected. I want to be protected because I don't want it to be coming back on me. But if they remain anonymous, I don't see it as a problem.
Yeah.
But I just felt like we needed to address it because I mean they were getting pushed all around the field. They just had lack of energy. I mean they just looked like something was wrong with them. And then when I heard that, I thought, well, there it is, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, after 2 weeks, you know, the flu runs its course, 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever. All of a sudden, against Buffalo, they have energy. You know,
Except Tua.
they're playing better. They look like a different
Except
team
Tua.
altogether.
Except Tua.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Tua is Tua. Tua was playing well until the interception. You know?
I saw a stat that blew my mind. 12 of Tua's completions were behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
The guy can't hit it. I mean,
yeah.
Seriously.
But they have teams have effectively taken the long ball away from Tua.
And you're a team where you have Tyreek Hill.
They're taking everything away.
You have Hill and Waddle as your wide receivers, and you have a quarterback can't go deep.
That's got to be frustrating. Yeah.
You know, and we all saw that interception at the end of the game that that sealed the deal for Buffalo. I mean, if you got a guy
right there,
if you had a third string guy who just came out of Montana State Polytech and threw him in the game and he threw an interception, even then you still be, what was he thinking?
Well,
okay,
I mean, he's still running around for his life. He's still running around for his life. We did some good run blocking, right? But the pass blocking wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So, and then he can't, I mean, the longest play that we had from scrimmage through the air was 19 yards, right? And so again, teams have effectively figured out how to stop the long ball, other than we don't have much of a long ball because, he doesn't have a rocket for an arm, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there was no long ball at all present, right? And the one that did, I think, was it the game before that? I don't know. I can't even. Now it's all starting to run together, but that's the offense struggling to pass.
I miss Fat Tua.
Yeah, 146 yards passing in that game.
Yeah.
Not a lot for Tua.
And Tua wasn't sacked the entire game. 0 sacks.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he was very elusive in the pocket, like Jose said, he was running for his life.
Yeah.
But he was doing it well. He was finding the open area, and then he was able to scramble out of trouble.
You did get one first down on the run.
Yep. Yeah. And he slid. He didn't go head first. He did the slide like he's supposed to do.
but they're lacking explosive plays, right? And and some of that might be, conservative play calling. If you got 12 yards or you got 12 receptions behind the line of scrimmage, I mean, you gotta call better plays than that too.
Well, I also have some more breaking news to that effect. Is that Waller will be playing on Monday night.
Who?
So Tua will have his tight end, his all-pro, tight end that hasn't played a snap.
I give him 1 quarter.
All pro.
Well, he was an all-pro. He was known as one of the top 3 tight ends in the league when he was still playing.
A long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but he's come out of retirement. He had a hip injury, and then in practice he re-injured, which kept him out of the first 3 games. But
he fits in.
They say he's ready to go, and he's going to play Monday night. So that should open up another weapon for Tua. That'll take some of the coverage off of Tyreek and Waddle. That should at least give one of those guys some one-on-one coverage there. Where, if you don't have that tight end, underneath guy, then they're able to double up on your wideouts.
Well, forgive me if I don't.
He'll take some pressure off.
Forgive me if I don't go ahead and make my reservations for the Super Bowl with that news.
Yeah, look. Yeah.
Well, it's big. I think it's big for the offense that they have that weapon there that's going to take the pressure off the other receivers.
But you know what? The proof is in the pudding at this point. I think we've had Tua long enough. He's worthless in the fourth quarter, right? If you have a situation where you need a final drive. Remember when Marino would get the final drive?
Not him.
When Marino would get the final drive, it was like this week, this was his 27th comeback last drive of the game,
Mm-hmm.
How many does he have? He has like 1.
Well,
I think the only one he had was like on Dallas a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
To clinch the playoff spot, right? But he came in and the last drive of the game lined it up for a field goal, and we won that game. I think that's the only time I've seen Tua come back in the fourth quarter and put the team on his back, march the ball down the field, and win the game for the Dolphins. And we haven't seen that ever since.
I said this before a long time ago with Tua. You have some quarterbacks, when you need that touchdown with 2 minutes to go, the Bradys, the Mannings, that's in the bag. Okay, let's sit back and watch this. This is going to be great.
That's right.
Then you have the other quarterbacks that go, he can do it. We might have a chance to doing this stuff. This can happen, right? With Tua, you're like, oh boy. Yeah. you sit back and you go, maybe.
And look, hey, and I'm gonna be honest, during the game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, when Tua gets the ball, I'm confident we're going to march the ball down the field. I have confidence in Tua. But when it comes to like clutch time, right? We're going to move all the chips into the middle of the table.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no consistency there, right? He tries to do way too much. Sometimes he ends up getting hurt, right? Inevitably, he throws an interception.
That was... we saw the game and we were like, oh, this team is doing better. They were doing better.
Yeah.
That's
we didn't get embarrassed. Right.
No.
So I was looking for a 42 to 10. Right. That's what I was looking. We didn't get embarrassed. We played a game. It was still close in the fourth quarter. Ain't nobody in that stadium having a good time. Right. They were like, oh my gosh, the Dolphins could, it's like, I mean, if we lose on Thursday night, I'm gonna be upset. Right. I don't think the Bills Mafia was having a great time on Thursday night. Right. And I don't think they felt confident that they were gonna win. Right.
The defense did good.
Yeah.
If anything, it was the offensive who lost that game. And Nick, special teams.
Hey.
You're a special teams guy.
Special teams.
Running into the punter. Oh my God.
Come on, man.
You know what? that had to be the lowest IQ play I've ever seen in a game at a time like that. How do you I get it. I get it. You're trying to be a hero and all that, but if you're coming head on with the punter,
Up the middle.
why is that your decision? Just let him punt it.
Yeah.
We turned the momentum and then we gave it right back and they took the lead and then won the game.
That's right. I mean, that was like the 4th or 5th time we had stopped them in a row.
Yeah. That's
Right.
You know, I
Finally
mean,
found the stride.
the defense had finally got, rolling. And all we needed was, Tua to do his job. And Sealer just, and he even said it, right? Stupid air, right? In the post, conference, he was like, that was stupid. But we had, look,
What did he think?
when you're looking at your team, the guys with the C's, right, on their jerseys, right? You got Tua with the C, you got Sealer with the C, right? Those are the guys that are supposed to make plays for you, right? They're the ones that are supposed to put the team on their shoulders, on their back, and carry you across. And one guy gave us the penalty on the punt, and the other guy gave us the interception. Right. And that's not, and if you turn that and you start looking at the Bucks, it's the other way around. Right. When you look at the Bucks, right, the other Florida team, it's like somebody on defense making a play and then they handed it back to their quarterback and he's all clutch. Right. It's so great. The dichotomy of both teams is just nuts. It's crazy.
I also don't.
And they're the Bucks. They're supposed to be bad. We're supposed to be good.
I don't understand why we chose to throw the ball in that situation as well, as we just ran 2 plays back to back running and they were both successful. Why wouldn't you want to chew up the rest of that 3 minutes while you're right at the red zone?
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, I can answer that. Buffalo said, okay, enough of this. We're going to stop the run. We got to make Buffalo wanted them to throw the ball to stop the clock and to give not to chew up time. They didn't want the Dolphins chewing up time, so they stacked up the line and go, "You're not going to run anymore." And so that's if they put 8 men in the box in front of you, you throw the ball.
Throw a flat to H-Chan, let him get out in the field.
But
can't stop the run. Cook was running all over the place.
Forget that.
He was just cooking.
It goes back to what I was saying last week. What they were also saying that, the primary receiver, Tua he's like a laser at the primary receiver. But when he has to check off to another receiver,
he panics.
It's like he doesn't know the rest of the play. He only knows the first read.
Right. I saw.
Where is everybody else?
I saw a thing on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. It was him and Fitzpatrick during his first year, and they were both sitting on the bench. And Fitzpatrick had been pulled, and he was playing, and he obviously they had lost, and he was talking to Tua, and he said, "What did we learn today? Here's what we learned today, right? Is that you can't wait till your 3rd and 4th pick. You're going to get sacked, right? Sometimes it's going to be your first, your first read, tops your 2nd read, and you may have to throw it up for contention, right? And he's been doing that for a long time, but once he gets past that 2nd read, it's happy feet time, and he makes bad decisions.
And I don't know. I can forgive interceptions. All of them, I mean, Brady threw interceptions, Marino threw interceptions, everybody threw, but they were, trying to get the ball in there, or this was like, who is he throwing it to? Almost. Even if that defender hadn't intercepted the ball, it would have been incomplete because it would have been nowhere near the receiver. He was going.
He looked at it the whole way. He never turned his head, not one way.
Yeah,
and he's famous for, looking off the safety and then getting an accurate throw.
Well, the one good thing came out of last week is I started watching the NFL Network and all this stuff. And they're talking about the game and all this stuff like that, and they start coming down on Greer. And they go, this is the guy. They were I'm sorry, I scared off Jose. He was going, this guy's been in the organization for over 20 years. This is the guy who picked Tua over Herbert. This is the guy who did this. This is the guy who did that. Why is he still there? They were like chewing him up on the NFL Network, which made me happy.
I don't understand. He shouldn't have his job. He shouldn't have it anymore.
No, no, no.
Well, they're paying him too much money to bench him.
The GM?
The GM?
Tua, yeah. Bench everybody. Bench the coach.
No. And it's this is at the this weekend. Well, Monday actually.
Monday night.
Sure. Pardon me?
This is going to be the game that give us the number 1 draft pick of the 2026 draft.
If they don't beat the Jets, whatever optimism you might have had for recovery this season, it's over. I mean, 0-4, losing to the Jets. And I'm sure the people at ABC, ESPN are really happy having 2 0-3 teams on Monday Night Football.
The Dolphins and the Jets, that's always a big game, no matter what the records are.
Not when they're both 0-3. And Jose, what'd you do to your camera?
I guess it's a good thing there's a second Monday night game, so everybody else will tune into that one at 8.
Oh, I'm surprised they haven't changed it because they've been doing that, like moving teams off of Monday night because of. All right, I guess Jose is so depressed he left us.
Yeah.
I know it's rough. 0-3.
Oh man, this is getting depressing. Really, talking to this. I want to be able to come on this show and be happy about stuff. Talk about, hey, somebody did great and everything. Hey, it's good to see Waddle playing in the NFL again. That was one good thing on this Thursday. Because I know where he'd been the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And even Tyreek Hill was like, hey, he's battling a bit. Granted, there were like 8-9 yard catches, but.
Yeah, you're paying him to go deep. You just got to let the ball fly. You got to tell him just run down there as fast as you can go. And just throw it as far as you can throw it. And then if it's intercepted, then it's like a punt,
Yeah, I mean, using Tyreek Hill to go 5 yards and across the middle is literally just asking for him to get killed because he's a tiny guy. Okay. What is he, like 5'9"?
Something like that.
He's a little guy. He's going to get killed out there if they keep on having crossing
patterns. He's got some weight on him.
Slow. That's the guy in Phoenix is small, but he's quick. What's his name? I can't think of his name.
The quarterback?
Hollywood Brown?
But, well, welcome back, Jose.
Sorry about that, guys. Nuts.
We were about to call the cops, have them come check out on you.
Call ICE. Is that?
He disappeared off of the scene, just like the Dolphins cornerbacks.
They were playing the Buffalo Bills, so the defense didn't do that bad.
No, they were. Josh Allen didn't know what to do. I mean, he was struggling. They made Josh Allen look hammered.
Well, what I liked is at the beginning, their first drive, Buffalo went right down the field. We go, oh God, this is going to be a long game. The next time they went all the way down the field again, but the Dolphins held them to a field goal, and they go, okay, but it still doesn't look good. But after that, they kind of just slammed the door on them pretty much. And if it wasn't for stupid plays on the Dolphins offense, that game would have been a lot closer.
Yep.
No, that's one thing I love watching in the NFL. Something's not working. The good teams adjust. They go, okay, he's first quarter, Josh Allen's eating us up doing this. Let's stop it. And the Dolphins stopped it. I like that. That was good.
Well, I should say that McDaniel did call a good game as far as play calling. It was just that the offense and Tua were not making the plays. The plays he was calling were good plays. He was calling a good game. I'll give him that.
This is how bad it is, guys. We're talking about how great a loss was.
I'm not giving anybody shit. They're 0-3.
It was a good loss.
That is just that's the saddest shit right there.
Oh, moral victories, guys. Moral
Moral
victories.
victories is
No,
not good. Right. Well, I mean, you know what? We weren't
no.
embarrassed. I mean, that's the bit. I mean, I going into Thursday night, I thought it was going to be embarrassing,
Mhm.
especially after the first two games, and we lost to the Colts and the Patriots. It was zero continuity, tons of rumors.
I don't know. I
And
don't know.
16.
It was pleasant watching the Josh Allen have to walk off the field without a touchdown or a field goal.
Oh, yeah, that was. I would rather see him walk off with an L instead of a W, but hey.
I don't know. What's
Nick,
it going to take to get a win?
you've been awfully quiet a lot tonight, this show. So, what struck you most in that game? What upset you the most? What made you happy the most?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just confused. You know, I went in, we're going to lose this game. Then they gave me the hope that we might win this game. And then they took it all away from me again. I don't know. Couldn't stop the run. The run game for Buffalo was just killing us.
It's stellar, and
Mm.
we're supposed to be. That's part of the defense, right? So
Yeah.
we got a good defensive line.
Yeah.
We should be able to stop that run, and that run killed us.
We were playing very soft. You could tell in
Yeah,
the beginning we were falling back, sitting back.
yeah. I mean, you want a line that can stop the run. You want a line that can generate the run. Obviously, we have a line that can generate the run,
Mhm.
and we thought we would have a line that could put pressure on the Josh Allens of the world and stop the run. And they haven't figured that part out, and that is huge because if you can't stop the run,
Yeah.
you just can't stop anything.
I'm gonna throw a name out there. Jalen Phillips,
Mm,
was a great player.
mm-hmm,
Twice
mm.
severely injured, had to leave, and the season ending early for him. He's back. Has he done anything this year?
Not yet. I mean, we still have hope.
They're not winning their matchups. They're not winning.
Um,
They're not.
Is
he's lost a step, right? With
That's what I'm
two
saying.
big,
Has he lost a step?
with
Will he
yeah,
gain
with
that
two
step
big,
back? I
yeah,
mean,
with two big injuries like that, you lose a step. He's
mhm.
probably a little bit cautious now. Last year he came back a little early, got hurt, right? Had to go back out, had a different injury. You know, it's going to be next year, the year after, before he shows what
Yeah.
he's.
This is
Well,
the
it's
this
like
is
Chubb. Chubb was out the entire last season, and we thought, this might be the end of his career. He's going to lose a step. They held him out the whole season, and now he's our best defensive player
mm,
Yeah,
by far on the field. So it just sometimes injuries it takes a long time to come back from.
how
yeah.
Until
long
It,
you're
ago
back
was
to your
it,
100%.
it used to be that an ACL would take 2 years to come back from, right? And now it's like 8 months, and I'm like, I don't know if that's working out.
Hmm.
I mean,
Right, and he had the Achilles. The,
right?
the, the Achilles is really hard to come back from, and he came back in a year.
Mhm.
So he's got those two. He's got the knee and he's got the Achilles. So I think it'll be a couple more games and he'll start showing up
Yeah. Yeah.
if he doesn't get re-injured. That is,
It'll be a year on the 30th since he got hurt, and I don't know. You take maybe another year or so, but this is the NFL, man.
We don't have a year.
You don't have a year. Years.
I need to win now. I
Stands for
can't take
not for
this
long.
anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is he
I'm
started
sick
with
of
the
losing.
he started in 2021. He's 4 years in the NFL. Two of them he's been knocked out.
Yep.
Granted, the first 2 years he was great, but that's I think is hurting the Dolphins, and they got him. They're paying him the money, so they're going to play him. But
Well, there's also Chop. He was a big rookie last year and made all these sacks and everything, and he hasn't done anything this year either.
mhm.
So, I think it's just taking time for this team to gel together.
We need to start blitzing, send some creative stuff at them.
Yeah,
Stop rushing four straight. They're not winning.
right now,
Start
all I want is to
stunting.
come back and do this show next week. I don't care if it's 3-0, 3-2. I want a W. Okay.
Well, somebody's going to walk away with a W.
Yeah. So,
Well, we're going to get it. We're
don't
gonna get
say
this
that.
W.
You could still tie in the NFL during the regular season. Okay.
Oh, well.
That's the one complete overtime.
Yeah. I want, not only do I want a W, I want to say that a player had an incredible game. Not a good game, not a, HN had a good game. No, but I want a receiver with 2 touchdowns. I want a running back with 100 yards. I want a guy with 2 sacks or 3 sacks in the game. I want something where somebody said, yeah, he came in and he kicked ass and he goes, then he made the game exciting. There's nobody doing that for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's what I want. That's what I want for Waller. I want us to come back and say, Waller is that missing piece, that tight end that was going to be the relief valve for Tua, that took the pressure off of Tyreek. Opened up the passing game. I feel like that Waller could be that missing piece, and that's what I'm hoping that we come back and say on the next show that this guy made a difference, and it looks like he's gonna really lift the team up.
I'm gonna echo something that I sent you guys earlier this week in the form of a video. When I look at the Miami Hurricanes defense, I see a bunch of dogs. I see a wolf pack. I see the whole team trying to get the guy with the ball. If one guy misses him or chips him, there's another guy, then another guy, then another guy, then another guy. And you might be making moves, but the whole team is gonna arrive eventually and tackle you. I don't see that energy. I don't see the execution. I don't see the explosiveness. I don't see the intensity. I don't see anything. I see a guy here. I see a guy there, right? But I don't see the wolf pack mentality on defense that we need in order to be a good defense, right? And that's what's wrong with the defense. But the whole freaking team is like that, lackadaisical. They're very cavalier, right, about the whole thing. That I need intensity, I need execution, I need explosiveness, I need desire, I need all those things. If our coach isn't saying those things, and the team isn't echoing those things to each other, what do we have? We just, we got right now. There's a bunch of guys collecting checks. That's it. Bunch of millionaires collecting checks.
I'm gonna put this season to one little neat ball again against New England. I'm drawing a blank. What was the name of the guy who ran back the punt for the Dolphins?
Washington.
Yeah.
Was it Washington? The Dolphins finally have a play that's like, yeah, you get excited. Something exciting is happening. And what do? Next play.
They pay it right back.
It was like it never happened. Boom.
That's right.
There are your 7 points. There's your momentum. There's your excitement. Guys, we got the Jets. Are we going to beat the Jets?
We had a touchdown, and the guy stepped out of bounds in the New England game. That game would have been ours if he hadn't have stepped out of bounds on that. I guess it was a punt return or something.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
We're coming in with our pitch blue uniforms for the first time ever. We need to come in with the fire, with the energy. We need to come out of that tunnel and just whoop on those Jets.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, quick. We're running out of time. We're beating the Jets. Yes.
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 100%.
That's all we're going to do because we're out of time. Click like, share, do everything. Tell us you love us. I'm Tony. We got Nick. We got Jose. We got Jeff. We'll see you next week with the Fantastic Four after Dolphins victory. Yay, Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins.
Touchdown.
And if we lose, I'm blaming Nick.